there is a great need to include the whole story when giving witness in the Arab world, everywhere really. But how much more among a people who are so anti-Christ in their theology as those who follow Muhammad. And so these people of Islam, they are trained from their youth, sadly, to defend against a son of God, a theology that has a son of God, or a Trinitarian faith. And they have rote memory in regards to just memorized how to defend the faith from their youth. But the sad thing is they have not. They have been engaged by some churches and some even workers, laborers, with the debate back and forth on why the Son of God is this and why the Trinity is that and whatever. But they have not heard the story from Genesis to Revelation. They've heard the philosophies of men for years and years and years, but they have not heard the story. And because we've come to them with with candy, right? They've not been nurtured on the pure milk of the gospel, even the meat. They haven't even got to the meat. They've had candy. It's just been, how can we convince a Muslim to follow a Trinitarian God, right? We haven't talked to them about the prophets and the story. They think they understand the prophets. They really don't understand the prophets. It's very strange. I've talked to Muslims. I said, you've got all of these prophets are Jewish, except this one guy later who comes from Ishmael's line, not of promise. It says these things that are contradictory and opposed to the things that the God of Israel said, and you're following that guy. You know, Jesus surely talked of Muhammad in the text. He said many false prophets and teachers would come and mislead many. And that's what's going on. And we need to be able to communicate the storyline. The prophets, they have ideas. They don't know the God of the Bible. They don't know his story. They just have ideas. They have little stories about different ones, different prophets or people, and they're completely different people. I mean, there's stories that are very similar. But we're talking about real people in history. You can't mess with the story. You can't mess with the story. And they have. And they've been given, what's wrong with Islam or what's right about the Trinity, instead of a faithful historical display of the gospel from Genesis to Revelation that I think clears up quite a bit in regards to the one faith passed down. But you have to bear the reproach of the God of the Bible, that he chose one people, and it just so happens that those people are their sworn enemy. But you want to be faithful or temporarily effective? We want to be eternally faithful.